Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment as the Tennessee Titans defeat the Houston Texans 35 to 14. For those of you who did not watch my video last week, my game recap of the Titans Saints game, I was away this week in Washington, D.C. I thought I was going to be able to make a Titan Up Thursday. I was not able to. And, with Christmas and everything, I was busy. I was not able to do my picks either. But I am back in Nashville now. I got back late last night. I was not able to watch the game until today. I watched it condensed on NFL Game Pass. So I'm not as happy as I was yesterday. So it's not going to be a complete celebration, but it still is a celebration here on Monday following the Tennessee Titans beating the Houston Texans. And this will be a short video. And I know I always say this and I end up talking for 40 minutes, but I actually mean it today. I actually do. Because there's not actually much in terms of talking about this specific game. There's stuff to talk about in terms of the season overall, but we'll save that for when the season's over, and our season's not over yet. There's stuff to talk about, a lot to talk about as it pertains to the upcoming Tennessee Titans, the New England Patriots matchup. We're going to talk about that extensively on Thursday, probably over an hour-long Titan Up Thursday previewing the Titans versus Patriots game. But for yesterday's game, we saw a lot of good things. And I love what we saw. And ultimately, I love the fact that we made the playoffs. I love it. We're in the playoffs after starting 2-4. We finished 9-7 for the fourth straight year, which is a little annoying. But yeah, for the fourth straight year, we finished 9-7. For 2 out of those 4 years, we have made the playoffs. This is great. And we saw a lot of great things yesterday against a Texans defense, which was starting all of their players. I saw every single Texans defender that was significant out there except for J.J. Watt. So that was great as well. But as we know, the Texans were resting pretty much all their offensive starters. So we don't want to say, based off this game, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl. Although that is a scenario that is on the table. I will tell you. That Super Bowl scenario is on the table, and we're going to talk extensively on Thursday about this. 2 years ago on this channel, I told you all that I had the Tennessee Titans going to Kansas City and defeating the Kansas City Chiefs in the wild card round. This is what I said on this channel. 2 years ago, people said I was crazy. I am more confident today that the Titans are going to go to New England and win in Foxborough. But we're going to save that for Thursday. Okay, we're going to save it. So for yesterday's game, the defense for the Texans was out there. Now, their effort wasn't there. Okay, and we saw them only 2 weeks ago where their defense looked better than this, but Derrick Henry was not 100%. So, if we played them in the playoffs, which would only be in the AFC Championship game, that's the only scenario in which that would happen, don't expect this again. It's going to be a more contested battle and fight there, and Deshaun Watson's going to be on the other side of the field, and Darnell Hopkins, etc. So that's why I'm not really trying to focus on this game, because the defense, the effort wasn't there. It's like facing the Jacksonville Jaguars defense in a regular season game. Okay, like how we've been facing the Jaguars like a couple weeks ago. We dominated them, running the ball all over them. I mean, Derrick Henry running for 211. You're just running all over them. They didn't care. Just getting easy first down. Ridiculous. It wasn't like completely uncontested out there. Don't get me wrong. But the defense effort wasn't there. Offensively, they had nothing. A.J. McCarron, DeAndre Carter, who? I mean, so, don't worry too much about the game. But the milestones is what we're really focused on. So let's start with Derrick Henry, leading the NFL in rushing with over 1,500 rushing yards. He deserves an extension. I've heard some people saying he deserves a franchise tag, and we're going to discuss that when the season ends. But just quickly on that, again, I'm team franchise Tannehill. Look, if you franchise Tannehill and he wants to hold out, then you can have those discussions in the offseason. You can have those contract talks. We can go into the offseason. You do not want to franchise Derrick Henry, to me, for this reason. Derrick Henry's going to come out next year. He's still going to produce, okay? No matter what, he may not produce to this extent. He's still going to get 1,000 yards if he's healthy enough, at the very least, right? If you franchise Derrick Henry, it's because eventually you're going to extend him. I don't see any scenario in which you franchise Derrick Henry. Let's say he has an underperforming year next year, and then you let him go. I don't see that. I mean, it's possible. I don't see that. So to me, just get the long-term extension out of the way early. Okay, go ahead and extend him to a 4-year extension now. Do it right now. Don't do it next year. Do it now. Because by that 4th year, you'll know, okay, now he's about done. Let him move on. Instead of getting 1 year of franchise tag and then a 4-year extension, and then by that 3rd and 4th year, he might be showing, some tread on his tires. I'd rather just get the 4-year extension out of the way now. I'm confident that he has at least 3 good years left. We'll see about the 4th. I'm confident he might even have another contract left in him. I wouldn't be shocked. Marshawn Lynch had another contract left in him. I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about that Seattle Seahawks resurgence, that 2012, 13, 14, that was his 3rd contract. Okay, that was his 3rd contract. Adrian Peterson, he did well in his 3rd contract. A lot of running backs can make it to 3rd contract. You got to wait and see, though. But I'm confident, he can get... And look at me. I said I was going to talk about this too much, and here I am talking about it too much. The point is this. I would rather just extend him now, get all of Derrick Henry we can get out of him now, and then let him go. Okay? Instead of, we don't want to extend him yet. We don't want to extend him yet. And then we extend him, and then when we finally extend him, then he starts going down. Just saying that. So anyway, Derrick Henry leading the league in rushing, extended. A.J. Brown. Okay, I wanted to play the song. But I can't play it because if I play it, then this whole video is going to get taken down. I'm trying to get someone to make me an instrumental of the electric slide that I can use without getting copyrighted. But you can feel it. It's electric. Woo! You gotta feel it. It's electric. Ow! You gotta move it. It's electric. That's not even a lyric. You can feel it. It's electric. Woo! A.J. Brown, dog. I mean, look at him. Look at me. I kind of look like A.J. Brown today with this haircut. Huh? I got it shortened a little bit. People kept complaining. But anyway, seriously, man. Oh, I love some A.J. Brown. And look, I was Mr. A.J. Brown. I was the guy that came on here and told you, this guy's going to take us to a new level. And I said, it's only going to be like 700-800 yards rookie season. He said, oh, okay, just wait. Just wait right there. Oh, you think it's only going to be 800 yards? You think it's only going to be 800 yards? You think it's only 800? Okay, all right, okay. Watch as I go out here and earn the Offensive Rookie of the Year award, and it's going to be close. Okay, and it's going to be close because Kyler Murray played well, because Josh Jacobs played well. He deserves it. A.J. Brown deserves Offensive Rookie of the Year after this game. 1,050 receiving yards for A.J. Brown on the season in this game. 124 receiving yards in this game. Wow. I mean, what more can you ask for? The guy's a beast. The guy's a stud. And how appropriate that Marcus Mariota is the guy that, handed him the ball that got him over 1,000 yards. Oh, a tear ran down my face, from my eye, as it was Mariota who delivered there. But it was beautiful. It was appropriate, as A.J. Brown was the guy that felt so bad that Mariota got benched. Mariota was at least able to deliver him that. And I'd love to see Mariota used in the playoffs like Taysom Hill, to confuse the Patriots a little bit. I'm just saying. So, Ryan Tannehill continued to play well, continued to deliver the rock, didn't have to do too much, but what he had to do, when he had to do something, he did it. Okay, 13 or 20, 2 touchdowns, nothing to complain about there, and ends the season leading the league in passer rating. Fantastic. Unless he wins the Super Bowl, you franchise him. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, I franchise him, to be quite honest with you. But, whatever. If we win a Super Bowl, this team gets 5 years of equity. They can do whatever they want for 5 years. I don't care. They can go 2-14 every year. We won a Super Bowl. Honestly, that buys 5 years. No more than 5. It's 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm getting tired of losing. But if they win a Super Bowl, they can do whatever. They could extend this guy, that guy, whatever. But even I would franchise. Just franchise. Don't get married to someone less than a year. That's my rule. That's just my rule. That's just me. You can disagree. But that's just how I stay free. All right? Look at them bars. So, Tannehill played well. Offense played well. Defense, like the one shining light. Look, we got some sacks here and there. Logan Ryan got another sack. So the Logan Ryan Pro Bowlers, the Logan Ryan Pro Bowl stands are gonna, say, look at this. He has 5 sacks now. Look, was there a Pro Bowl corner out there for us? I mean, seriously. We had A.J. McCarron throwing for over 200 and what he had, 225 yards. DeAndre Carter catching 64. We don't have no Pro Bowl cover corner. I mean, he can accumulate all these stats. We don't have no Pro Bowl corner on this team. No Pro Bowl cover corner. But I like looking right. There's no Pro Bowl corner. So anyway, Ty Smith was struggling a little bit in terms of coverage. Tremaine Brock had some more struggles. It's a problem. We need Adoree Jackson back. Malcolm Butler can't come back. We need Adoree Jackson back. We need it back right now. I mean, that's just as simple as I can say it. That's the most simple thing as I can describe it. We need Adoree Jackson back. And hopefully he comes back soon. And hopefully it's this week against the Patriots because we're going to need him. Although the Patriots wide receivers are nothing to be afraid of, Tom Brady is, even at this age. And he will be able to dissect Ty Smith. He will be able to dissect Tremaine Brock. Even Logan Ryan, a guy that he's familiar with, he's going to pick his spots against. This is a problem. And we're going to have to look out for this problem in the very near future. So that's just something to look out for, something to look forward, maybe not look forward to, but something to, look out for, and we'll monitor that situationally, or I guess moving forward. So anyway, one thing defensively, though, a very good bright spot would be Derrick Roberson. So how about this guy, undrafted free agent who we picked up, and this guy's been playing well for us now. 3 sacks in 2 weeks, had 2 sacks last week against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Had a sack today. Looks like we picked up an interesting linebacker here that we can maybe use moving forward. A nice rotational guy. Now, I'm saying maybe because you never know. Like, we thought the same thing about Sharif Finch, and he's gone. Where's Sharif Finch? He's gone. He disappeared in the night. They just released him. They waved it. They said bye. So I don't know. And then we expected the same thing from Camilo Correa, and then he dropped off. So it seems like linebackers come in, they do something for a couple weeks, and then they're gone. And I don't know what happens with this team, but that's just what happens. So I'm not going to get, too excited, not going to get too amped up about that. But, something that's nice to see for sure. So Derrick Roberson I liked. Jurrell Casey got another sack, so that gets him up to 5 sacks in the season. You look at Jurrell Casey's stats, and he played well in this game. You look at his stats. His stats look fine for the season. But again, I don't think you got a elite play from Jurrell Casey this year, but he can make up in the playoffs, and I'd love to see that. So, I mean, really, in terms of the game, that's really it. And that's all I really cared about. I'd like to see, I like seeing Kerry Blasingame get did he get a catch or a run? It was a catch. Did I see him get a catch? And hope he can continue to get a little more involved. I want to see him block better. Jonnu Smith didn't catch a ball in this game, but he blocked very well, and so did Jack Conklin. They were holding down that right side in this game. They were doing a fantastic job. This was Jack Conklin's best game of the season by far. Jack Conklin was fantastic. So, yeah, that was absolutely incredible to see the job that Jack Conklin was doing. And, again, I think he should be resigned. I think everyone should be resigned, to be quite honest with you. I mean, as long as we can keep things under the cap, which we can, and have some room as well, which is debatable. Depends what the figures end up being, which again is why you franchise Tannehill. Unless if you backload the deal for Tannehill, which is dangerous. So you got to be careful with that. You can either a lot of y'all want long-term extension for Tannehill. Okay, you got to do that 1 or 2 ways. Well, 1 or 3 ways actually. 1, you front load. 2, you back load. 3, you make it even. Number 1, your front load. Congratulations. Now you can't re-sign Derrick Henry or Logan Ryan or Jack Conklin. Number 2, you make it even. Okay, you make it even. You can probably keep most of your guys. You have to probably let one of them go. But, there's less guarantees. Or there's more guarantees for him, less guarantees for you, and less outs for you. And then backloading, there's really no outs for you. Unless there is a potential out early, and then he has to be able to get to those outs. Or he has to be able to get to those guarantees later, which is a deal I'm not sure he'd sign. So, there's going to be some contract negotiations there. But, what was my point? I had a whole point to this. But my point is, I want to see all the main characters back. And we're going to talk about it when the season ends. But I want to see them all back. Everyone back. I want to see Tannehill franchise. I want to see Henry extended. I want to see Logan Ryan extended. Henry 4 years. Ryan 3 years. Tannehill again franchise tag. And then Conklin extended for 3-4 years. Probably, I would even take 4 years because I just trust a right tackle, even though he might have some struggling games. I like a right tackle I can trust. If you're going out and you're just going to start looking for right tackles in this league, you're going to run into problems. It's just much better to stick with your right tackle. As long as he's decent, as long as he's fine enough, stick with your right tackle. We have a fine right tackle, stick with him. Don't go looking for right tackles in this league. There's not many to go around. You can ask the Cincinnati Bengals that. They've been looking for a right tackle for a decade. Seriously. The Detroit Lions, they've been struggling finding they've been having a rotating thing there. Who else has been rotating there? The Cleveland Browns. I mean, so many teams struggle to find not only one, but two good tackles in this league. So let's not play around with that. Let's just stick with the tackle duo fine. They're playing great right now. Wide Sapple's playing great right now. Let's just continue to go forward in this manner. So that's pretty much it for the game. We're going to move on to the chat. If you have anything you want to tell me, anything you want me to respond, anything you want me to answer, add me in the chat at SportsFan Entertainment. And we'll be back on Thursday for an hour long, most likely an hour long Tighten Up Thursdays as we preview the Tennessee Titans versus New England Patriots. And again, I like our chances. I have us winning. And I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to win. I have us winning. I'll tell you that. I am predicting that we win the game. Because we've been playing better than the Patriots pretty much especially since we started Ryan Tannehill, but definitely for the months of November and December. We are more balanced than the New England Patriots right now. Our defense is not as good. But they're able to make their plays, and I think they're going to be able to do some things against the New England Patriots in order to stop them. I have us beating the New England Patriots. A week where the Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots in Foxborough. I have the same thing happening. Why not? The Miami Dolphins just beat the New England Patriots in Foxborough. It wasn't in the playoffs, but it was a game the Patriots needed to have. They lost the bye week. Now, don't tell me that Patriots weren't trying. They needed to win that game, and they didn't. I have us winning the game. That's what I have. So, with that said, again, if you have anything for me in the chat, at me at SportsFan Entertainment. If not, we will get out of here. We have one question from IC Gamers who says, at SportsFan Entertainment, what do you think of Rashard Davis? I'm not sure who you're talking up there. Are you talking about Rashard Evans or are you talking about Corey Davis? Rashard Davis? Or are you talking about, is Rashard Davis? No, I don't know who you're talking about. You're going to have to rephrase that one. I think you're talking about either Rashard Evans or Corey Davis. Okay, anyway, we also have a question from Enrod740 who says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, we had a meetup of over 200 Titan fans out here in Southern California. The love for this team is real. We also love you. Love from Cali. Well, thank you for that. And I was actually in Southern Cali a while back. I would have loved to have been there. But unfortunately, I guess I was not able to. All right, Minecraft God 69 says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, thoughts on Jameis Winston, 30 for 30. Jesus. Yeah, so Jameis Winston finishing the season with, I want to say, 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Ridiculous. If people still want to defend Jameis Winston, look, I had Jameis Winston as the number one quarterback in that 2015 NFL draft. I loved him coming out of Florida State. His freshman year, his redshirt freshman year, is one of the most fantastic seasons I've ever seen in my life. And real quick, I'm being told that that's the punt returner from yesterday. Okay, as I said, I watched the game condensed, and I didn't really pay attention to the punt returns, to be quite honest with you. So that was our punt return. I didn't even know the dude's name. I was just like, okay, this is who we got out there. Okay, cool. No thoughts. Apparently, let me see. He had two returns for 9 yards, so that's a whole lot of nothing. One of them was for 10 yards, the other one was for -1. So I can't give you an opinion there. Yeah, I mean, nothing stuck out to me. I just saw punt returns, and I'm like, okay, that's a punt return. I wasn't thinking anything about it. But I will say this: also getting Adoree. I mentioned getting Adoree Jackson back. Hopefully, we get Adam Humphries back because we need Adam Humphries on the punt returns because that's not good enough. I'm not sure. That really wasn't on him. The coverage wasn't great on one, and the 10-yard was fine. You can't really see anything from 2 punt returns like that. So anyway, I guess he was fine. Whatever. I didn't see much. Nothing stood out to me. That's why I didn't know who he was until you said his name. All right, so we moved back to me answering that question, though. And the question was, again, thoughts on Jameis Winston 30 for 30. Again, I had him as the number one quarterback in that 2015 NFL draft. I loved him. His redshirt freshman year was incredible. One of the best and actually pro-style quarterback play I've seen in college ever. He was fantastic. And then his sophomore year, he showed that he was going to be interception prone, but I defended him. I said, no, it was just one bad year. Look at that redshirt freshman year. And since that redshirt freshman year, it had nothing close. He is proven, not only for his 5 years in the NFL, but his 1 year, sophomore year in college, he's interception prone. That's what he's always going to be ever. It's proven, it's done, it's finished, that's it. You cannot afford a quarterback who turns the ball over this much. I don't care how many passing yards he throws for. I don't care how many passing touchdowns he throws for. You cannot win a Super Bowl like that. You just cannot do it. If you cannot win a Super Bowl, can't even get to the playoffs. The Bucs can't even get a winning record. Only one winning record in the past 5 years. You got to move on. He's not a starter in this league. He's a transitional guy at best. You cannot even get a winning record with Jameis Winston. Cannot make the playoffs and most certainly cannot win a Super Bowl with a guy who turns the ball over that. You cannot do it. I don't care how many passing yards. I don't care how many passing touchdowns. You cannot do it. It's ridiculous. Look, I would love to defend Jameis Winston. He was my number one guy. I said I thought he was just as talented as Andrew Luck coming out. Cannot defend him. Just that. Because he is talented. He's absolutely just as talented as Andrew Luck in terms of throwing the rock. But in terms of reading the field, nope. And that's a big difference. All right, Lil Woodell says, as sports fan entertainment, I agree. We're not throwing a Super Bowl party. Those milestones overpower that win. I woke up knowing we'd win, which made it difficult to get deep in buffoonery. Yeah, a lot of people were concerned yesterday. I mean, look, I know the Titans can choke games. They were not going to lose yesterday. That's not the type of game we'll lose. We're going to lose much earlier than that. We'll lose, like I said, I was afraid we're going to lose against Oakland Raiders. We'll lose week 14, 15. We're not going to lose week 17. We don't lose week 17 to a team like this. No, we'll get it done. There's too much at stake. The Texans don't care, and their backups are too awful. We're going to win a game like this. I was not concerned. And then even beyond that, everything went our way. The Steelers lost. The Colts lost. And who else did we need to lose? Steelers, Colts, and Raiders. So everything went our way anyway. We would have lost the game and still made the playoffs. Nothing would have changed, except people would have been more depressed today. And people would not be as elated today. But the end result would have been the same. So I didn't really care about the game. I just wanted to make sure that we won, and we won. And it was nice to see the milestones being broken. So A.J. Brown, 1,000 yards. Derrick Henry leading the league in rushing. That was nice. And that's great. Now we're in the playoffs. Let's focus more on that. That's way more important today. The Substantial Bear says, as sports fan entertainment, is Derrick Henry healthy enough to maybe take us to the promised land this year? He appears to be now. In fact, I was surprised they still gave him 2 more carries yesterday. Lucky he didn't get nicked up or injured or anything, but he was able to take one to the house and lead the league in rushing, which was important to him, and I understood that. Honestly, if I was a coach, I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have said, look, bro, you don't need to lead the league in rushing. Who cares? But, hey, they did it, and he got to lead the league in rushing, so that's fantastic, and he's still healthy, so good for him. Nick Gregor says, as sports fan entertainment, would you rather draft an edge rusher or pick one up in free agency? I have to look at the free agency list. What I will tell you right now is it depends by draft time and also by free agency time what our needs look like. But we'll focus more on that as the season ends. Season ain't over yet. Elite Dog says, as sports for entertainment, Kuharski reckons Conklin is hitting free agency, suggests Tanny extension. I mean, I guess. But here's the thing. Again, I'm fine extending Tanny. I just wouldn't do it. You don't have to. If you don't have to extend Tanny, why do it? It's just so risky. And again, I think the risk will pay off. I think it will. But if you just look around and you just say, look at Nick Foles, look at Blake Bortles, look at what happens when a guy goes on a great run, a team buys in a little earlier than they should have, and then they get burned, dog. When you can just use the backup, the safety net, the franchise tag, and we're good. And then maybe he'll argue for an extension in the offseason, and maybe he'll hold out. And if he does, then you give him the extension. But right now, I think he's going to ask for $40 million a year. And man, oh man. I mean, we need to relax before giving that up. I mean, that's just a lot to give up. That's a whole franchise for a guy that's been there for 3 months. And it's been a great 3 months now. But it's been 3 months. And if he wins the Super Bowl, then fine, he can do whatever he wants. If he gets to the Super Bowl, he ain't doing whatever he wants. Because first of all, I saw Colin Kaepernick, and Colin Kaepernick was, an unknown commodity. Which, by the way, actually might be an argument for Colin Kaepernick, but whatever. We saw Colin Kaepernick, and among others, I can name plenty of others, get to a Super Bowl, lose, and then fall off a cliff too. Okay, so getting to the Super Bowl ain't enough for me. You gotta win it. Colin Kaepernick go to the Super Bowl, stunk after that. Cam Newton didn't stink after that, but had his issues. Joe Flacco won one and stunk after that. Why? Why go into long-term extensions, long-term commitments with people you don't know, with quarterbacks you don't know or aren't comfortable with? Why? If you can franchise, it's the simplest. Nothing will kill your franchise more. It's the most dangerous thing in the world. It's the most dangerous thing in the world. That's why I just say if you can just franchise. Just franchise if you can franchise. It's the most dangerous thing, most impactful thing you can do to your entire franchise. And just ask the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just ask the Jacksonville Jaguars again. You gotta ask them twice. Ask them first about Blake Bortles, then ask them again about Nick Foles. Ask them twice in our own division. One got to an AFC Championship game, one won a Super Bowl, and got to a division around the year after. Just ask them. That's what I'm just telling you, man. Don't make any hasty decisions when you're talking about $40 million a year. All right. Chandler Davis has a nice question. Did you have a good Christmas? And yes, I did. Yes, I did have a nice Christmas. I got what I wanted, which really wasn't much of anything. But yeah, I got what I wanted. So yeah, I had a nice Christmas. I mean, I had great weather here in Tennessee, although I'm sure that means that climate change is upon us. All right. SB asks as Sports Fan Entertainment, could you imagine the Titans and the Bills rematching the most exciting playoff game in the AFC Championship of the 100th season? No way. I don't see the Titans beating the Ravens and the Bills beating the Chiefs. I don't see that. Even the Titans beating the Ravens, I'm going to get to that. Hopefully we get to that. Even that's a stretch, but both of them happening, no. And I don't have much faith in the Bills. They're a good team. I don't have much faith in them beating the Chiefs, though. I don't see them doing quite that. So, with that said, we're going to end there. So, we're going to end there. Again, I'm going to be back Thursday for what will be Tied Up Thursdays. Well, it's sure to be an hour long. Again, we have the New England Patriots on Saturday Night Football. And very eerily reminiscent to that 2017 matchup 2 years ago where things started off great for us, but we ended up getting killed in that game. But I am excited for this one as we have an opportunity to end the empire. Until next time, this has been MJF Sports Fan Entertainment. I'm out. See you all later.